So I think we've discovered how long it takes you to get drunk. It's this much. Maybe you don't see the things I see in my dreams. Get the bourbon out of your name. God, I don't know what sound badgers make. This is my life now. Good evening. It's 8:30 on Saturday night. This is Old Forester Bourbon. It's Kentucky bourbon. Never tried it before. Got to figure out where the camera is. Need to look at the camera, don't I? Oh, that's quite smooth. That is quite smooth. It's very close, this camera is, but it's just the setup. It's the only thing I can do. So, sorry if I'm in your face. But yeah, so we got a bottle of this. Old Forester. I tend to prefer whiskey, like Scotch whiskey and some of the Irish ones, to bourbon, because bourbon can be very sweet. Jack Daniels is the thing that you start off with. It's like your gateway drug, isn't it? Can't see my non-verbal hand cues. I have to sit back a bit. Ignore the COVID kilos. That's just what happens. You know, fucking COVID. So we're going to do a few cocktails. If you've seen these things before, you know the score. It's nice. It's like a nice sipping whiskey. Created in 1870, Old Forester is the only bourbon continuously distilled and marketed by the founding family before, during, and after Prohibition. At 86 proof, Old Forester delivers a genuine bourbon experience with rich, full flavour and a smooth character that is ideal for sipping neat on the rocks with a splash of water or in a classic cocktail. Yeah, it smells like liquor, but very, very sober. So we tried it straight. I've got some ice here. Are you going to bother with the ice? It said with a splash of water, because usually when you... Oh god, yeah, that's a bit... You don't want to start on shots, do you? When I drink whiskey, I'll usually go, if I've got the cash. Of course, if I don't, it's White Mackay is the review, but a nice whiskey would be like the Jura, Talisker. I did have... What was the last one I had? Oshentoshan. I don't know why I said it in that accent, but that's from just outside Glasgow. Of course, the Irish one's a nice Jameson, very nice, different kind, the single barrel and all that kind of thing. I'm not much of a scholar, whatever the fucking term is for whiskey, but shut up and drink. Right, so we got the aroma, sharp and sweet, with a strong floral character that swells with hints of mint, rich tobacco leaf and vanilla. I can smell the vanilla. Tobacco leaf. Yeah, I suppose I can see that, yeah. It smells kind of, vanilla-y. Yeah, you got that. Now it says the taste, this is on their own website, so... A touch of oak and pine provides a strong underpinning, sharp at first but softens quickly with hints of oak, sweet corn and rye grain character. Spicy with soft vanilla and light orange notes. Okay. Well, as I was saying about the whiskey, you go for a drink in a proper Scottish bar. They'll give you a little jug of water, and that kind of opens up, that, as far as I understand, don't quote me on this, but it kind of opens it up a bit, opens up the flavours. It's not as strong, of course, so you should drink twice as much. So that's just ordinary water. Yeah, vanilla, sweet floral character. It's very tasty. The last bourbon I had was, I've written it down, Buffalo Trace. That was pretty nice. I enjoyed that. I had I had been drinking Wild Turkey for a bit. Then I went away to Denmark. I didn't drink any bourbon over there, not that I can remember. That doesn't mean I didn't. But when I came back, it just seemed, Wild Turkey seemed very sweet, very, as almost rum-like. And the same as a friend of mine swears by, like Jack Daniels, but I can't. It's just that is very sweet. I once drank too much of that in Newcastle and fell asleep in the hotel lobby. That was fun. It was a fun night. I like it up north, down south. Yeah. I'm in the south of England. Jim Beam, yeah, that's one. What do you say? It's like cheap as chips kind of Jim Beam. It's fine. It was a toss-up between the Old Forester here and Four Roses. I've never tried Four Roses. I've seen it advertised. I don't think it's really readily available in the shops over here, so you kind of order it online. Maker's Mark is another one. Haven't tried that. And the Woodford Reserve. I think that's supposed to be good. I tried the Bullet Bourbon. I do remember that being nice, but it's been a while. Buffalo Trace, yeah. Maybe I'll do like a whole tasting thing of all of them. And Gentleman Jack. I was talking about Jack Daniels. Now, I got a bottle of that when it was on offer. It's like, 25 instead of 35. I thought, give it a shot. Very nice. Just levels above ordinary Jack Daniels. So what am I looking for? A touch of oak and pine. See, I don't tend to, eat trees. Sharp at first. Softens quickly, yeah, it does. Hints of oak. You've just said that. You've said that twice now. A touch of oak. Full stop. Sharp at first, but softens quickly with hints of oak. You're repeating yourself here. Sweet corn and rye grain character. See, rye whiskey. What's rye whiskey that I've had? Rye Wild Turkey. That's rye whiskey, isn't it? Now you've reminded me of something else that I have had that was a rye whiskey and I can't fucking remember. Spicy, yeah, I'll give you that. But it's very nice. Yeah, so we'll try it in the, I don't know, I'll put the lid on just in case I knock it over or something. Clumsy bastard. I'm, sat in my small cupboard, so everything's all around me. Let's shove an ice cube in there. See how it goes down with it. Come on. The sound effects. It's good for the ASMR, if anything. Yeah, that's nice. I mean, bourbon is a very different drink than whiskey. I mean, it's not it's not like fucking water and gin, but I don't know. It feels weird to be drinking bourbon and kind of swilling around and enjoying it. Bourbon seems more the kind of thing that men that drive motorcycles and the women that love them would drink, Whereas Scotch, that's where you sit around a roaring fire in a cold fishing village when you've missed the last bus home, and you're just trying to kind of warm up enough and deaden yourself so you can go and sleep in the bus shelter, kind of thing. I've got ginger ale and Coca-Cola. I don't know if it's up. It probably still is up. I did a rum review of a couple of old friends, and we had all the paraphernalia, all the different recipes and all the different bits and pieces, and that just ended up in disaster. Keep it simple, stupid. Most kind of bourbons that you'll get, I think if we're going to compare the different bourbons, just compare them as what they're like, straight and warm, room temperature, maybe with a drop of water with some ice, and then you know, with a ginger ale, ginger beer, whatever I can find in the supermarket at the time, and a Coke, of course, Coca-Cola. That's always a thing, isn't it? And then you can get a good idea of it there, can't you? I think with both the rum reviews I went crazy there as well. I'm not chopping up fucking lime and all that kind of shit. This is lockdown liquor time, you know. You get your mate or your lady a bottle of this, a couple of bottles of you know, either ginger ale or Coke apparently, and just go for it. Let's see. Right, if we go for a decent measure, so that's about 2 fingers in an ordinary glass. Well, you know, glassy glass. So 2 fingers of bourbon, and what do they usually say? What should we go with? I'm going with Coke because my stomach's feeling a bit funny after those couple of shots. What I mean is I don't want ginger in there just right now. So ordinary Coke, original great taste since 1886. Oh, look at that. This whiskey, Old Forester, is older than Coke. Well, I don't know, original taste since 1886. I imagine before 1886 was when they actually had the cocaine in there. Maybe that's better than fucking bourbon. So what I'm doing, 2 fingers of Old Forester and 2 fingers of Coca-Cola. And mix it with your little finger. That isn't long enough. Story of my life. Haha, penis jokes already. Yeah, see, that's alright. Because Coke is so sweet, normally, you'll mix it with, like, certain rums, certain whiskies and bourbons that, you know, that are sweet, and it's overpowering. I mean, if you're going to be mixing spirits with Coke, I mean, vodka and gin, yeah, that's good because they're not especially sweet. But then again, vodka and gin are very different drinks. You know, the clear spirits, I mean, gin just mother's ruin. It just sends you off on a mad one, makes you all depressed. I'm not talking about during the drink. I mean, during the drink, yeah, you're having a wild time. But you have that kind of existential despair in the morning after drinking gin. But no, that's... I mean, it is still very sweet. I mean, I've stopped putting sugar and all that in my drinks long ago. Just a nice double espresso with nothing in, neck it. Lovely. Jesus Christ. Get on your boat, go get the fucking boomerang, that kind of thing. I'm going to say names, fuck it. What are they going to do? What's he going to do? Not talk to me. I thought this was a whiskey review. It's not whiskey, it's bourbon, shut up. I want to be a better person. But you get to a point where you think... But yeah, that's how they met. Okay, no more Coca-Cola. That's that. No. No, I've got this big, massive bottle of it. This gaseous sugar water. We don't want it. Where was I? I completely forgot what I was talking about. It's like there's a burp and you create a new universe, and then you have to choose which one you go into. We are reviewing Old Forester. We have so far not had very much of it. It's a fine bourbon. What can I say? It's clearly gotten me a little bit shit-faced. After I don't know how many drinks. Could we count? Maybe I'll put a little thing in the window every time I have a drink, and then we'll count how many fingers I've had. See, I was going to make a your mum joke, but we're better than that. Let's learn a little bit more about Old Forester. Finish. Long, warm, and slightly drying. Nice level of sweetness. They should have sent a poet. And it's not the fact that they're idiots. We're all idiots. We're all ignorant. But it's the lack of empathy and it's the cruelty that you often see. It does my nutting. Anyway, I've done apparently 3 fingers this time. Again, I'm not going to make a your mum joke. So this is Schweppes ginger ale. A lot of bourbon. Oh fuck, we're back to the actual review now. A lot of bourbon and whiskey recipes for cocktails will call for ginger ale or ginger beer, and it's often like this, that, or the other, or one calls for this amount and one calls for a little bit more of that. I mean, ginger ale is basically like a fizzy soda with some ginger in it, isn't it? Sparkling ginger flavour soft drink with sugar and sweetness. Sugar and sweetness, guys. That's what we love, isn't it? Sugar for the cancer, sweetness for the other kind of cancer. No, sugar for the fatness, sweetness for the cancer. There we go. So you can get both. Because I guess when you do get cancer from the sweetness, at least you'll be fat enough so when you lose weight, you're not going to lose so much weight that you die. Well, no. My dad died of cancer. Have I mentioned that before? Right, then that's a very large and impressive glass of the things. But we're not living in perfect land, are we? We're living in lockdown. So I asked you before. I asked you how you were. How are you? How have you been? Anyway. See, I completely forgot I was supposed to be telling you what it tasted like. That is quite nice. It's ginger fucking ale, ginger beer. What do you know? I don't know if I'm into it. I think it's the kind of thing that if you're at a bar, you'd have one. Oh yeah, I'll have a whiskey and ginger. And then they would give you all the paraphernalia with it as well. Like a bit of fucking orange peel and whatnot. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I think the best way to do with that is one of the things with when I was doing the rum reviews. Rum is, nobody drinks straight rum. If they do, then they're a pirate. Bourbon, good bourbon. If you're going to spend money on getting good, but if you're going to discover your perfect kind of bourbon and whiskey, and I will hesitate to add vodka and gin to that, but not rum. But if you do that, then why do you need to mix it with anything? Drink it slower. Drink it with some water. Now, weren't cocktails invented due to prohibition and they were... Stop burping. Fuck. It's not burping, it's flatulence. Whatever, fuck you. Is it flatus when it escapes? I don't know. Dictionary man. Anyway, prohibition, they were making bathtub gin and they needed to make the shit taste good. And then they started mixing it with things. So when you think about it, when you've got all your fancy, like your cordial gins and that, I bought my mum a present once for Christmas. It was like all these like weird things, dried fruit and berries and that you can mix with vodka and make the fancy gin, and she didn't fucking use it. She just went to Waitrose. Cunt. I didn't just call my mum a cunt. I didn't. Shut up. All it does is encourage you to drink faster. This is why I did very poorly when I went on a date a couple of years ago in Denmark. We met up in my local. It's where, several of us have been going for years, and we knew the bar staff, and, we thought, okay, let's do, we'd been talking online, it'd been going really well and that. I said, oh, come down there. And she came along, and it was all very cozy because you've already shown the girl that you're not a fucking psychopathic rapist because you know people in the bar and you know the bar staff. Unless the entire bar is a psychopathic rapist. My point being is we had a great time there. We talked about stuff. Oh, had a laugh. Oh, wasn't it great? And then we went to a gym bar, fancy gym bar. It's a big pour of gin in there as well. Artisanal gin. Artisanal is, how do you say it? And then you go and sit, and it's empty. If you're going to pay £15 for a cocktail, 150 kronas for a cocktail, then you know that you're not going to be like crushed in like that. And then we start talking. We've already like broken the ice, and she's already seen that I'm not a psychopathic rapist either. And then we start talking about other things. Oh, so now it's quiet. Now we can hear each other think. What do you do for a living? Oh, I'm in a non-governmental organisation. Oh, you're in an NGO. Cool. I'm also liberal and progressive. What do you do? And then she told me. And I'd had too much gin to not... I mean, this was like beyond silly. It was like... like when the Clintons went to Haiti? I mean, it wasn't that bad, but it was kind of like, hang on. Maybe if you're dancing. Because that was a big thing, wasn't it, in the 90s, maybe the noughties. Red Bull and vodka. You do a couple of Red Bull and vodkas. I'm really bad at these. I'm really bad at doing reviews of drinks. All I'm saying is, I think Old Forester is best drunk without mixing it with shit. I can hear them over in the park shouting. Maybe they've caught one of them. Been like burning someone to death in a big cage of bees. A lot of weird sounds you hear in suburbia, aren't there? That's why I prefer the city. Because when something bad happens, the sound of the buses and the sirens drown it out. When it happens here, you hear everything. I don't know what sound badgers make. Am I turning red? Probably because I'm wearing a hat. I was only wearing the hat theatrically, and then I forgot to take it off. Now I'm very hot and sweaty. But we get urban foxes. We got a lot of feral cats and the badgers. But I think from what I've researched is it's the sound of the foxes, the sound that they make. I mean, you got the cats when they're mating and all, well, raping each other. Kind of, sorry. But there's a sound that the fox makes. And I don't know if I'm a bit of a fan of the, like the supernatural and all that. And you got the cryptids, the fantasy kind of made up beasts that, like, made up, maybe. Creatures that live like out there, Bigfoot and Chupacabra and all that kind of thing. And you hear this. I can't do. My voice has gone very dry. I can't do the expression, but they make these really strange noises, and it's like nothing you've ever heard. It's completely otherworldly, and it honestly sounds like something's walking down the street, just calling out, and you hear it, and you look into like especially American folklore, the skinwalker, that thing. It is interesting to be in suburbia and hear these weird animal noises, and then to start putting fantasy to it, thinking what could that be? And maybe that's, when you think about it, we're all sitting around a campfire before we built cities, and you hear the sound of wolves and whatnot. And then you start to imagine what it could be, because the human imagination is far, far fucking greater at conjuring up things than Hollywood ever was. I mean, that's like horror 101. Don't show the monster. Suggest it. Because we, as terrible as Giga made his Alien, we can make one better. Like the shit that we see in our dreams. Maybe you. Maybe you don't see the things I see in my dreams, but maybe that's where demons are from. No. Yeah, from my dreams. What are we talking about? It's okay, I'll edit it out in post. It's the Wendigo. It's the Wendigo. It's coming for my children. And it didn't happen, did it? Didn't happen, nothing happened. I wish I hadn't have poured myself such a large glass of ginger. Because it's too hot with this fucking hat on. Did you all get the reference? It is Saturday night round here. And just don't. So, if you were going to ask about getting drunk, I think I actually am a bit drunk. Oh, it's 43%. So, does that mean... Yeah, that's something. No, you know what? I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing any more mixing. Just the mixers. I don't know. We don't need cocktails. Cocktails should... I don't know. I'm not an authoritarian. I'm telling you that if you like mixers, that you should not have them. I'm just saying I don't know. The Coke was just garbage. So I finished drinking the ginger one, and it was fine. It was like the kind of drink that if your friend bought it for you in the pub, you were like, oh, that's fine, I'm not going to drink another one. I might have already said that. I think really we need to be... Right, what we're going to do... This might be a mistake. That's why I don't do live streams. We're going to... I got this big thing of ice, but all the ice that's melted, I don't know if you know this, but ice is like water, and I'll be able to pour it in there and we'll get really cold. Oh fuck. I fucked that up, didn't I? Fuck everything up. Yeah, that's nice. Too fucking drunk to explain what's going on. One thing I just think I realised is that I didn't have music playing in the background. You need the music in the background. But I've just been sitting here in silence for some reason. I mean, I know that you don't want to like the YouTube algorithm to be picking up all the songs. But I don't know. I've been man sitting in a fucking empty room. It's not empty. You can see behind me. It's got shit, and I tried to cover some of that shit up with the flag, and the flag has partially fallen down. This is my life now. Oh, but I tell you, I do. And I should stop fucking doing it. I think I had the winning formula in the beginning. Nobody gives a shit about cocktails. It was Old Forester, and we're here now. Me, you, and Old Forester. He's old, but he's cool. Come meet him. It's fine. Was that Emilio Estevez? I was. Look at that hair. They knew what was going on in the 80s, didn't they? So I think we've discovered how long it takes you to get drunk. It's this much. If you spend an hour and a half shoving fucking bourbon down your neck, then you're fucked. Then there you are, listening to John Parr, St. Amos Fireman in Motion official music video on things. That video is... that's really impressive. Fucking Americans. Still better than the Chinese, right? Cheers. And I'm drunk. And here we are. This isn't what you should be doing with your life. Not really sure if there's any point carrying on. Because we've done the things, haven't we? Straight Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. This whiskey is distilled by us only. No, that's not right. Kentucky bourbon. Can't get the bourbon out of your name. I drank that much. And I've had one piss. Does that make me a real man? I'm not sure it does. But it does mean if you're trying to impress someone... because I told the story earlier about the gym bar with a lady. And that was just embarrassing. I was horrible to her and I embarrassed myself. And I'm going to have to live with that. And you got these cunt and fucking generation to generation. They just want to like roam the fucking streets and be fucking vandals and cunts. Fucking noise. That's what it is. Fucking noise. So, the Old Forester, we've had ourselves another glass. You are not going to hear it on the microphone, but I keep hearing, like, shit going on. Like, arguments going on in the fucking background. Fucking people just fighting and, you know... It makes it sound like I'm living in, like, I don't know. No, what I mean is that sound carries. And I think what I'm really upset about is I'm recording this and I was expecting, as I said before, the sound of the badgers, the foxes. I haven't heard those yet. Just hearing horrible feral children running around shouting at each other saying, What, you gonna fucking hit me, are you? You gonna fucking hit me? No, but he's right about the music. But you really need to have the music. I think in the end, to sum up, I should have worn headphones so I didn't have to hear what was going on outside. Old Forester is good. I can't concentrate. I don't have my headphones on, so all I can hear is what's going on outside. It's a fucking nightmare. But Old Forester, as it is, it's really nice. And I think most people who like bourbon, even if they want to mix it with ginger and Coke, will like it.